Welcome to Vlogmas Day 4. So what number are we on today? Jesus, it's number 4. Where is it, Mac? There it is. Look. It's shut out. It's a gingerbread man today, Maxie. Already wrapped up some presents and put them underneath, but oh, I love the tree. It just looks so cute. Beautiful. Good morning, welcome to Vlogmas Day 4. I'm sorry, I should have changed the name. Good morning, welcome to Vlogmas Day 4. Today's video is going to be a bit of a homely day today. I have got a uni lecture kind of thing this morning, so that's going to be happening, and we had to create these group proposals for an exhibition that we're going to be doing, and the group that I'm in, our proposal got chosen by the third years to actually exhibit their costumes, which is really funky. So we are doing like a presentation thing this morning on how we're going to like go about doing it. Maxie is looking adorably cute this morning, curled up in her chair. Hello. So we have the Christmas tree over here. We've got some gorgeous baubles on the tree. We have a lamb on the top. I love these baubles, they're super cute. We have a scroll hidden in the tree, and I've got some presents under there, like I said this morning. We've got a little gonk family over here, and just some Christmassy bits. Racing reindeers, and then over here we have our advent calendars. This is my boyfriend's mum's advent calendar. It's my boyfriend's, and this one is mine. I've got to say, this is gorgeous advent calendar. I had like 3D things in here. It's amazing. And then that's the cats. So as I said earlier, I am working on a project for uni at the moment, and I am tailoring a tails coat. We had to find an object that we were inspired by, so I found a biscuit tin that I'd seen in the V&A's, which was gorgeous. It's got this gorgeous swirly pattern on it, not swirls. So as I started saying earlier, we were tasked with finding... So as I started saying earlier, my jacket that I'm making is a tailcoat. It's inspired by the Circus of Curiosities, and to start off with, we had to find an object that inspired us, or that we like the look of, or just an object. So I found this gorgeous biscuit tin at the V&A's. It's absolutely stunning. From there we had to make notes on what we thought of it and words that kind of inspired us by it, and then make our designs. So the designs that I started looking at were based on tailcoats. So I started looking at tailcoats and kind of sketching and doodling and just picking up elements from the design that I liked and doing line drawings from them. Oops, that's my background. Then we moved on to looking at, say, more specifics. We kind of designed our character. So I decided that I wanted to do a ringmaster, and his name would be Gertie. We had to create kind of like a character basis for that. If this is a bit boring, you can skip on, but I just wanted to kind of explain what I'm doing at uni. So we were looking, well, for me, I've been looking at ringmasters, and then we had to do our final design based on like a stance, so how we think they display themselves. So then I moved on to creating some of my designs, and then I've just got images that kind of inspired me to do with the circus, deciding on my colour palette. In the end, I decided to change my colour because with coronavirus going on, you can't necessarily go out and look at fabrics at the moment. You can't go feel them and touch them, and with my time frame that I had to get my fabrics in a week. So I actually had velvet that I already had. I wasn't sure on the colour at first, but I thought that it would incorporate the regal aspect of the biscuit tin with the kind of gold mustardy colour. So this is the fabric that I've actually decided to do for my biscuit tin. I love it. It's a kind of upholstery velvet, I think my tutor said. I'm learning as I go along. I don't want to claim that I know everything about costume. I really don't. I'm learning as I go along. this velvet was once a pair of curtains. It's now being made into a jacket. So then I started doing some sketches based off of The Greatest Showman. I loved the styling of the costumes, and then this was one of my first kind of sketches, looking at the reds, and then I looked at kind of swirl designs that I wanted. So the front part of the jacket that folds out is called a lapel, and I wanted to create a swirly design on it. So then I experimented around with different materials and what I kind of liked the look of, and then I originally started off with quite a lot of elements from the biscuit tin, and they're quite big patches on the jacket. I looked at colours, doing like white or gold or black for the actual decoration, and then I looked at doing it in a blue because I had a blue velvet as well, but I preferred the mustard velvet, thank goodness, because I would not have had enough velvet. So this is what my design, my kind of second to last design kind of looked like. It looked like this. It was quite complicated, there was lots of decoration, and within the time frame that I've gotten, I wouldn't be able to do it all, and I don't think that if I started off doing that design, I don't think I could do it justice. I wouldn't want to rush it, and I want to obviously look the best that it can. So this was kind of the first fitting of my jacket. So that's kind of, we were given a basic pattern for a for a frock coat, and then we had to alter the pattern ourselves. So I've had to cut into it, make the lapels the way I want, and make the tails, and the styling of tails that I wanted it to be graduated in quite an angle, but because I haven't chosen kind of like a smooth curve, it's going to make my putting the lining in a lot more difficult. I didn't know this until I had to talk to my tutor the other day, but it's all great fun. This is kind of like I was putting in the first sleeve. We had a lot of problems with our sleeve. It's a traditional sleeve based on the period of the frock coat, which I think is the 17th century. Don't quote me on that, I'm not completely sure. But we didn't kind of, because of coronavirus, we're only in 1 day a week, so we don't really get the kind of tutor, you don't get to say, hey, can you help me, or they don't. It's a little weird doing it the way that we're doing it at the moment. However, it's going well. My tutor has been absolutely amazing with helping me and giving advice and everything. And this is the back of my new design for my tailcoat. So I've got 2 gold buttons, and I've got less motifs this time. So I've got a couple of floral ones there, and then a kind of wing there. What I wanted to kind of stay with, because this is obviously not a traditional ringmaster's tailcoat, it's a mustard colour and it's different fabric, it's not shiny. So I wanted to kind of have a modern take on kind of the ringmaster, because I wanted to think it had been passed down through generations. That's the kind of like way that I looked at this. So this is my final design. It's going to be a little more dramatic in the actual cut of that, but it's going to look like this. That is my lapels there. So that is a black satin fabric that I've gotten. I'm simplifying the swirls down to kind of fit on the lapel, as I kind of wanted it. I don't want it to be symmetrical because I don't want the pressure of having to line it up, because I don't think my impression of this is it's not kind of the traditional one, so I don't want it to look exactly perfect. I wanted it to reflect the character. He's learning through his mistakes and his experiences, so he's not going to be prime and perfect. And then as you can see, that design that I had on the back of the kind of wing motif, it comes over the shoulder. Then I have some decoration around the button, and then I've got the cuffs, which are in a different colour, so I've got black satin there, and then some decoration too, and that should be in the gold colour, I think. I'm not quite sure yet. I'm going to see as I go, I think. But yeah, it's exciting. This project has been difficult in the way that we've done it. We've never done a design project like this before, and it is a learning curve because I've never done tailoring before, and I'm really, really enjoying it. Tears have been shed over this jacket, but you know when you start doing something and it's going really well and you get really proud of it, especially when you're learning things. So this is what my jacket looks like at the moment. This is actually one of the sides that I've got which is finished and ready to be sewn. So this is I think it's called a lapped stitch. No, it's this one, sorry. This is actually a pad stitch. So it's a stitch that we use in tailoring to secure the canvas onto the fabric. So I've done the pad stitch on here to secure it to the front half, and then I've had to do it on here in smaller stitches for the lapel. as I did this, I was rolling it over my finger to give it the kind of structure and the fit. Then I've got the kind of, it's an iron-on interfacing, but we do it just to kind of, I think, to neaten off the edge and to finish it off. So that is currently what I am doing and finishing off on the other half over here. And then here is my embroidery that I've got started on for my lapels. One thing I have found with the velvet, because it is such a thick fabric, my scissors were not sharp enough. I didn't have the scissors or the actual ability to be able to cut it on a fold. So I've had to cut around each one of these pieces individually. In costume, we don't mark on our seam allowance, well, we don't have the seam allowance already on the pattern. So I've drawn around each one and marked on the 1.5 centimetre seam allowance. Then, because it's been so thick, I haven't been able to draw on it necessarily. So I've had to stitch around each piece so I can see my kind of marks where I can sew. That's been fun, but this is what I'm doing. So I'm sewing the kind of decorative pieces individually, if this will focus, like this. And then I've just started sampling with it. This is what it's going to look like. It's going to be, it's not finished entirely yet, but it's going to be gold metallic. Sorry, it won't focus. Like this. I'm going to be using a tiny paintbrush in order to make sure I don't get on the black satin. But that was, after my experiments, that was the best idea that I came up with. So for those of you that has interested you, kind of just what I'm doing with uni, I don't normally talk about it in great detail because I don't want to bore people, and I'm not sure if it's actually something interesting. But I don't know, I enjoy talking about it because it's something I'm very passionate about. So I hope you like that bit. I have got a uni session in 15 minutes. I'm going to get ready for that. And I will catch you up in a bit. So that was a very successful start to my morning. You will have just seen my uni kind of talk thing. So yeah, that was very, very nerve-wracking, but it was good. I need to wrap today. This is all a Primark outfit. I've got my red burgundy top on and this gorgeous skirt, which was Primark last year. So I loved it. I feel very festive.